Welcome back to the madness, guys, and this time we find ourselves in the regular retail WoW, cause something has occurred to me that didn't really occur to me before, is that it seems that there's a lot of people that just don't know how to make money in this game, so they can constantly buy the shop tokens. And, oh god, they've even gone up now. Probably because of Classic WoW. So, I'm going to start this little series on tips and tricks and how to make money, grind for money weekly. It might not be the most efficient way of making money. There's probably people out there that'll show you how to make more gold per hour and whatnot. But this is what I do casually every week and still turn out about 100k gold every week. And on this particular video, I have a partner in crime. Bear with him because his mic doesn't exactly work so well, but you've heard me talk about this guy for pretty much years now, so here's the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy.
Hello.
Yes, Jimmy. Also known in game as, what, Noodle Princess, is it? No, Noodle Empress. Empress. So, without further ado, let's get on with tips and tricks for Hellfire Citadel here. Located in the heart of Tanan jungle. If you have Draenor flying, this is really easy. Otherwise, just grab this flight path right here and you can easily just maneuver your way down into it. Anyway, we're doing it on mythic difficulty because hardcore. Which does change a lot of the fights up, but it actually makes it easier than the regular mode. So go ahead and come in, Jimmy. Everybody can always go and look up fights and how to do these things, but they're so outdated and you don't need to constantly follow fights. For the most part, a lot of the bosses in here can just be bursted down, but these are just tips and tricks to go through the dungeon faster, or, follow this path, some ships and everything. The first thing we want to do is gather all these monsters into one pile. So, particularly get the ones that are, I think this guy right here is a set, and the big orcs. You need all the big orcs more than the small little orcs. So you get that, and then there's a pack over here. Get these two, and that other big orc over there, Jimmy Gots. And then we just bring them all right here into the middle, and then just AoE the hell out of them. Okay, once you start hearing the NPCs tells people to check on the Citadel, there'll be two groups of mobs that are running along the walls, and they're going to find themselves in front of each of these big cannons. Once you kill those two, it brings down the mobs to start. That would start the fight after you kill them, so just kill these, and pretty much describe this first battle is like a tower defender in a way. There's going to be waves coming in, and you need to protect these two giant cannons from being destroyed. If they get destroyed, it's RIP, GG, all that nice thing. But Blizzard has changed these to a degree, and the fight is soloable, even though we're going to be doing it with two people today. And you don't need to be arranged and whatnot, because I've done this on rogues and stuff. But the idea is to basically just kill the mobs and destroy the like war machines that come out, like cannons and stuff. Now, as soon as we aggro this group over here, the instant the fight's going to begin. So I'm just going to go up and just pull this chick, kill everything. Maybe I do. She doesn't die technically; she'll just run off. She actually is the next boss and everything, and then you notice the cannons turn around. Now, as far as I've noticed, they've always landed on X first over here, and then over onto the other one. There's always like a big wave, then a small group of like two orcs. Anything that actually makes it up to them in the hardest difficulty will really start chunking away at the cannons pretty quickly. So we just want to, make sure we clean everything up. Use traps, whatever. We really can't do anything until siege machines start coming down anyway, so... The idea originally is to kill the siege machines and then you get a pack of ammo from them. Like here they come now. The reason how come I say this fight's easier on the harder difficulties because these siege machines come out a lot faster. The lower difficulty they come out a lot slower, but the cannons are a lot tankier. So you pick up the pack of ammo and you get a speed boost, and you literally just run it up to the cannon. But the door actually gets a little bit more destroyed the more you actually destroy the siege machines for whatever reason, because Blizzard wanted to make it easier. And also on the hardest difficulty, mobs will be fired at each side of the ramps amongst these two hills. If you notice, there's two paths up to every cannon. And it's just a regular cluster hell. But, just grab the thing. The more cannons you kill, the faster the wall gets destroyed. See, there's some ammo for that. And, the other cannon's under attack, and it's just barely been clipped by this hulking berserker who's done like 6%. But, yeah, see, Jimmy, you're right next to a box. You can grab that box and just run up the hill. Those are the more important things. Now, another trick could be is that if you need to get to the opposite cannon, is just to pick up the box, because then get the speed boost to run all the way to that opposite cannon and save that opposite cannon. Like so. And voila! And for some reason, it'll always ask you if you want to accept the cooldown, the instance lockout. I don't know why it does that, but it always does that for me. And this box right here is your loot box, so loot. After that's done, she comes out with her giant frickin' robot. There's nothing really special to this fight. If you take too long, she flies around all over the place, so it's best to just burst her down as fast as possible. So just Hunter's Mark here, get a good aim shot going, and look, just hit the buffs. Use my one button macro for my Hunter burst DPS, and oh, so good. I hate this garrison thing because it just constantly eats up a quest slot. So I'm just gonna abandon that. Alright. Now, you can technically go to any of the next upcoming bosses in whatever order. I think we have like 3 bosses coming up here. Personally, I say do the stupid council first, which is multi-man boss, and it'll be off to your left. Plus, there's mobs on the way. You can technically just ignore most of these if you're already 120. If you're 110 doing this on like a character that you only have like Legion, up to Legion completed on, it'll be a little bit more difficult. Don't kill yourself in the only lava pool in the entire freaking... Leave it to Jimmy to find the one lava pool that you can kill yourself in. Do you still have that debuff too? No, it went away when we got here. Now, I think we accidentally killed him along the way, but there'll be a bunch of ninja mobs that'll just stun the hell out of you. It doesn't really hurt if you're 120, it's just like slightly annoying. And will slow you down. Now here's the Council of 3. And the trick to this fight is just to burst the chick down as fast as possible. Well, I wouldn't say as fast as possible, because there's a catch. If you kill her before she gets off that pedestal, you can't get loot. She's the loot box. Now, if you're a demon hunter like Jimmy and everything, well, how I say is to start this fight is just to walk up and just use I-beam if you already have like full fury. So go ahead and do that, Jimmy. And the reason for that is whenever you start one of these fights is you're going to lose all your resource because Blizzard wants to balance things. So go up and walk up to the middle guy, Jimmy, and just use I-beam. You'll hit them, don't worry.
Good dog. Dispatch our enemy.
Alright, now we get the... I'm gonna hit this. And the easier difficulty, obviously, the easier this is. I mean, I'm just popping hero just because lols, really. There's actually a chance that if you don't kill the warrior guy fast enough as well, he'll go through his warrior spin phase and actually just kill you. But yeah, see, they kill the chick, she's the loot box, and then carry on. Now, as you make your way down the pathway here, you can... Oh, weighted jack-o'-lantern, Jimmy. You already have Halloween stuff? My god. But, October just started, Jimmy. How do you have this madness? Anyway, so... we could technically ignore these guys the best we can, but if we just feel like killing it, then feel like killing it. The guys every so often that stand next to lava pools will try to drink the lava pools to become behemoths. And there's nothing really to these mobs, they're just trash. See, look, he's gonna go for the lava. Just shoot him. Now I am you, Jimmy, with a pumpkin on. Watch me swing my mighty axe and toss arrows in the air. This boss is just another burst boss. You can just kill him quickly. It's silly how often this actually ends up being. But there we go, Hunter's Mark, charge up a name shot, pew, activate the buttons, and you know, just commence the jiggling. Oh yeah, if you manage to kill this guy without killing the other guy, because he eventually gets unleashed, if I recall, you get the other guy as a garrison follower. Loot, 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 loot. All the fancy loot. And this is where things get confusing, because where this puts you out is literally in the pathway just before the counselor guys. So we just completed a little loop, and if you get lost and everything, the basic idea about this is it leads back to this anti-chamber right in the middle. So if you end up back in the middle chamber, don't panic, that's where you're going to need to be, because there's a lot of backtracking in this dungeon. Personally, we've already completed 2 of the 3 bosses that you can technically choose how to go through. Now there's only 1 left. So this place is also where we're gonna see the assassin that runs around like a derp, and he's like on hyperspeed. But Jimmy, you know, just killed him by accident. Just, you know, using Fell Rush as I'm trying to show, but it's whatever. He just stuns you. That's all. Up there he is. See, he got me. He got me. Get him, pet. Get him. Technically, don't even need to kill these guys, but because I have a pet and whatnot, and Jimmy's here. The sad part is that these guys don't even give loot. So there's hardly... I mean, there might be one of them that gives loot, so it's like hardly anything. Also, there's some assassin guys in this room that are stealth, but a lot of the times, if you're high enough level, they don't bug you. Sometimes they'll be run right in front of this door. Sometimes. I don't know where he is other times, but sometimes. And then, to get this boss to actually get out of the lava, which he's the big green guy in the very back, you kill everyone else. So, I usually start with these guys over here. Poke the pig guy. You know, just gather them up really and just AoE them all down. There is a problem though if you don't kill the big ones fast enough, is that they do a belly flop on you and just lay on you. So you can still use some of your abilities, but you can't move until they die. And even after they die, sometimes it's like, I want to move. Let me do something. God. But overall, as this boss actually is, it's just another burst boss. Jeez. Burst boss everywhere. God. Pro strat. B120. Do. Aim shot. And look, we're getting some achievements. This character is probably just getting achievements because it's the first time this character's even been in here. Also, if you don't have like fat bags and everything right now, and you have a vendor mount, I would recommend after killing this boss to dump your first amount of monies and stuff away into the vendor, because like just vendor the stuff. Oh, it's asking me. You can't. You won't be able to trade if you sell it. Oh well, should have thought about that beforehand. Anyway, so vendored off or everything here. What about you, Jimmy? Did you manage to vendor? Yeah, you had the mammoth. There'll be several places in this entire dungeon where you can actually mount up and do such a thing. Which is kind, not all raids allow you to mount up inside, so... And before we utterly lose Jimmy... Alright, Jimmy. Oh no, Jimmy's dying. Look at him, he went blur. Blur! You just blurred, like classic anime death sound.
How?
I don't know. You made that noise though, Jimmy.
Chugga 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 chew chew.
Boy, try to say that without trying to be turned on. Anyway. Then we make our way up here, kill some things, watch the lava cracks. Because those are actual lava. This guy, the next boss is just going to be another burst one, and it's a burst one that you gotta do fairly quickly, otherwise he kills you. Like, he has a devour mechanic, which just eats you. I never quite got the hang of that, so... But, so long as you're 120, you'll have absolutely no problem just DPSing him down fast enough. If you're 110, you might have some issues, you know, so just... remember to bring a potion or something to actually help you burst this guy down a little bit better. But to get him to come out and do his RP, you kill these 3 guys. Sometimes all these guys that are dead in front of them will be alive, and they'll say they have health bars, but they're not real. They're just fakes. So, we gotta just wait for this guy to come out and show us his belly.
I have feasted upon 1,000 souls. Yours will be next.
Okay, now we can burst him down. So, aim shot and everything. And don't forget, you can use pretty much hero after every goddamn pull. Oh no, he ate me. He ate me. No! That was strange. Normally that doesn't happen when I'm solo, so let's try this again. It's funny how much these fights change just because you have one extra person in there. If you're the only person, he won't eat you at least that quickly. You just killed yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, if you jump off the back there, you die. But that's okay, Jimmy. Just stay right there. It's just perfect.
Each death has given me untold power. Now,
Just popping. Yeah. And he's dead. Now you can res Jimmy. And he'll start at the beginning of the fight. I mean, the beginning of the dungeon. So, the next fight is through this portal here, and it's another one of those choose the next boss battle. Gonna wait for Jimmy. Alright, Jimmy's here. So, there's going to be several ways you can actually take this one, because you can technically take these out in any order, but the path I like to choose, and is actually pretty easy because it's basically one big circle, is go down the red crystal area first. It's just basically full of a bunch of warriors and stuff. Again, you don't usually have to keep killing everything, but if you want a little bit extra, because you're only going to get like maybe 1 or 2 gold extra. I do recommend that we do avoid killing all the people down this path because they get annoying and they're long. You can literally just sidestep this guy. But Jimmy's, you know, a class A blood-thirsty psychopath. So, we're gonna end up killing everything. You don't even need to kill this Dreadlord guy, but we're gonna kill him anyway. And he did. Now to get this guy to actually get to the point where you can attack him, we kill these 4 priests that are like channeling into him first. So as soon as Jimmy gets in the room, okay. 1 priest, 2 priests, 3 priests, 4. Now this guy is basically 2 bosses in one. First phase, kill his armor. Second phase, kill the spirit. He's also very, very mouthy, so try to save the burst for the other phase, but you can technically just burst him down anyway. It's just really annoying that a lot of your first attacks will just get wasted because they're not actually on him. If you're having trouble, then save your bursts and stuff for his actual spirit phase. And the treasure for this guy is way over here in the corner of the room. You won't believe how many times people just accidentally skip the treasure box in this room, thinking that guy was just some kind of hardcore trash. Now, this next room has pretty much a lot of the same concepts of the room that we just did, and the boss we just did. There'll be 4 portals spread out throughout each corner of this little room here. One here, 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 and here. And you gotta close the portals with a bunch of demons and everything swarming you constantly. Sometimes they can knock you out of your channel to destroy the portal, and the portals only appear once you attack and everything. The idea is when you were in a raid, you'd split up into like 2 groups of 5 and clear out the portals, but when you're all alone, you just need to clear the demons out as fast as you can, then take out the portal. You know, simple on paper, hard to master. Especially if you're on a class that has barely any AoE that can do stuff with on demand. For demon hunters, I would recommend probably going tank spec for this. The next boss is going to be fairly a lot more simpler, but it has a stupid evil thing. It's going to be a boss fight that if you can burst down fast enough, you can kill her. But if you can't, you're going to end up having to deal with ads that she summons in that actually gives her buffs, so you'd have to kill the ads before you kill her. Because otherwise she starts getting strong that even a 120 can actually start having problems if they don't have like a decent amount of gear, but I doubt that's ever going to be a case because when we first started doing this back in when BFA first came out, and everybody was hardly even 320 item level, then you'd have a little bit of difficulty. And that's the guy that you need to kill because of all the channel, and he opens the door. But now with everything being like 370, and oh my god, Jimmy has turned into a dog. But so yeah. If you're low item level, there might be a problem, but past like 320, 120 should be good. You could ignore all these people, but you know, as bloodthirsty as Jimmy is.
I haven't touched anything.
You touched a few of them earlier, Jimmy. We all saw. The boss is the chick in the back. Gotta ignore those people as best can, so Hunter's Mark and Pew, so she also has a kickback that's annoying because it's mean.
You are getting so very frail and weak. Enough! This is where you tragic.
And see, we killed her fast enough so we didn't have to deal with the things. But we're also 2 people, where you'll be 1. Now, if you walk down this path, it leads you literally to the next boss. He has a stupid little mechanic, but before you actually go out there, this small little room right here, for whatever reason, we can mount up in it. So mount up and empty your bags. You could even wait till after you kill the boss if you want. But hey, always, you know, take care of your bag space if you don't have enough. Normally I'd fill 3 30-slot bags completely with gear. If you don't have at least 3 empty 30-slot bags to come in here, then at least bring, you know, some kind of vendor. Now, this guy over here is the boss. We don't want to touch him yet, because there's a chance we can burst him down before he goes into the air. Otherwise, we need to clear out all this trash, so... Bad bird. Bad bird. Somehow I'm typing in chat box. Bad bird. Okay, now this boss, if you can burst him down quickly, try to. I sometimes do it, sometimes, actually most of the time I don't. But when the fight actually starts, I'm going to put thing on him, fire aim shot, try to burst him down. Now he's going to see, as soon as he summons heads, somebody needs to grab that. Well, when you're alone, just go ahead and grab the stupid thing in the middle that he was channeling on. It'll allow you to, like, apparently do something. I never played during this expansion. Well, I did play during this expansion. I just never did this raid because I never really raided in Warlords. But basically, you can chip him down if you have ranged abilities, but just AoE. He'll come down after like 3 or 4 strikes like that. I do have a theory that he actually comes down faster if you do more damage to him while he's in the air, but I'd have to do more like video tests to actually see how often he does that. Oh yeah, he puts fire on the ground. It's somewhat threatening. And he did. Oh boy, Jimmy, here. Have a Jimmy mask. You wear leather. It's actually a pretty cool mask.
The portal is nearly complete. The next seal has been removed.
It's a Kevorkian scarf. If you have any idea who Dr. Kevorkian is. If so, don't say anything, because I'm not sure if it's family friendly, but yeah. This trash is hilarious, because it actually, everything you kill is like a key to open up something up ahead. Now, I'm assuming that back in the day, when this was actually raid content, you just don't want to kill that guy in the middle, because it makes all the joggies harder to fight, but if you're an EOA champion, like hunters and demon hunters are, yeah, go ahead and kill him. Puppies mean nothing. Tasty puppies. You can do either one of these guys first. I just always like to do this guy first. Mr. Part Fel, Part Shadow. Now to start this guy to come down, you have to kill the Fel Guard and the Voidwalker. And he's just another burst mob. Who would have thought? Burst.
I have so much. All will be swallowed. No life shall remain. Server, yes! Yes, I see it!
And he is way too happy to die. He saw the end.
The final seal has fallen.
Lucky bastard saw the end game, you know, like 4 years before any of us. I am sneaky and I am fast. And then we come over here, where there are even more things, you know, just a couple of succubus and Fel Guards just executing things. I don't know why they have special names for the succubus, but okay. Pew! Pew! Arrows! And then we kill this other Fel Guard, and then the big Fel Guard's the boss, and you can just burst him down. Only one more boss after that we burst down, and then Archimon actually means something if we're doing it on mythic mode, but not normal or the other difficulties where you can just burst them down. Man, they've been giving that orc a lot of pink belly. Alright, just, you know, shoot when ready. And he's dead.
The portal is unlocked. It will take us directly to Gul'dan.
Now we gotta go backtrack again, you know. I told you there's a lot of backtracking in this dungeon.
I have a trophy to carve.
Yes, carve, trophy. Tasty. Why do I have band-aids? I have a lot of fish, but I know why all that fish is there, because it's my pet food, because feed pet actually still heals like 50% of pet. Oh man, he's all about the choo-choo again. Stop, Jimmy. Don't go forward. This is the path, Jimmy. You hook around, back over here to Khadgar, he has another portal. Oh my god, so many portals. They couldn't just build us some stairs. Now, on this difficulty, it's interesting, because the encounter starts literally whenever you tap one of these guys on the side. But on this difficulty, you only need to kill one, and then Manaroth gets resurrected. In the other difficulties, you need to kill all three of them. But on this one, watch, I'll just, you know, aim shot this guy too. And the other guys get killed. The encounter has already begun, so because you can then start popping your counter abilities and whatnot. And I poked the mic by accident. Alright, Manaroth. Sad, because this guy has a chance to drop a bow. Which I think I'm not sure if I got every version of the bow.
Quickly, champions. He has no place left to run. We will finish this.
Alright. Now for the last boss. And like I said, this guy is different on this mode, where you can't just burst him down. Well, you can try to, but as soon as he gets to like 30%, he activates another phase where he has 50% of his hit points. And that's when you really need to kill him quickly, because he'll throw you up miles in the air and throw you into the ether and insta-kill you. So, basically save all your cooldowns, Jimmy, on this boss until we get into his next phase. And you'll know when we're in his next phase because he takes us into a new dimension.
The Black Gate is home.
So, you ready, Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Charge ahead.
The might of the Legion.
Now I'm doing the exact opposite of what I'm saying, because I'm just going to burst him down to that phase as fast as possible. But even if you can get him down to 1 hit point, he always goes into that phase. And here we go. You don't take damage the first time you fall down in, but this is where you pop all your like cooldowns and stuff just to burst him. And boom goes the dynamite. And there we go. How to actually clear out, at least in Mythic, Hellfire Citadel. This was a 2-man, but it's easily soloable. This was just me mostly showing Jimmy how to do this, and we're probably going to see Jimmy again in a few more of these. Because I plan to do a lot of different ones for pretty much every raid, going backwards in time. From basically Warlords of Draenor, maybe even Legion, if I can get that worked out a little bit more. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, leave a like, maybe comment. Not your dad, can't tell you what to do. And see you next time. Later.
Durr.